Hey everybody, wanted to make a quick first impressions video and do a brief walkthrough of our new 2022 Winnebago Travato KL. We picked this up on Saturday, July 3rd in Fort Worth, Texas, which is about 3.5 hours away from where we currently are in San Angelo. So we drove 3.5 hours there, traded in one of our vehicles, got the KL, and then drove 3.5 hours back. And it is now Tuesday, so we've slept in it twice, and then we stayed last night in our apartment. Both nights we slept in our apartment complex parking lot, so we know enough now to talk about most of the systems and just kind of our general first impressions of what's going on. And I do apologize for the noise. I'm running the AC right now. We're in West Texas and it's July, so it's pretty hot. First thing I want to show you is how the cab looks here. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. So here is the front with the seats swiveled around. I was going to save this for later in the video. We've had two issues with the vehicle already. Very, very minor. This first one was kind of annoying because we had to drive 3.5 hours, but the wheel, it does telescope, so it goes in and out. It does not periscope up and down, but it goes in and out. But the problem is it won't start unless you've got it all the way in. So it has to be all the way down in order to start the car. And then if you try to adjust it, it shuts off. And if you pull it out to where it's comfortable for me to drive and then try to start it, it just doesn't start. And I tried it multiple times, it didn't work. So I don't know if that's a safety feature. Haven't had time to look that up in the manual yet. It's probably just an issue I need to call them about to get looked at. There's this tiny screen right here. One cool thing that we did find with that is that it has not just Android Auto normally where you would wire your phone into it, but it's actually wireless Android Auto. So that's nice. I can just get in and it auto syncs with my phone and my maps are on there. I have to put my phone away. I don't have to have it hooked up. It just communicates wirelessly. So that's nice. Here we've got the shades up. These shades were real easy to install. I know this is a change for this year because it used to just be the kind that you would slide up and down. They're very easy to install and easy to tuck away. So we got those on both sides. Now here is the issue. If you notice here, there is this insert on the passenger side, but go over to here and it's just open. I guess that they forgot to install it there or something. But you know, for me, it's not really a big deal because I think I might just install like a hook here and then I could attach my trash bag to it or something. So it's not a big deal. And inside of there, it's completely sealed up. I don't think you can see it in the video, but I did look in there. It doesn't appear to be an issue where I'm going to suffer for lack of insulation or something. And speaking of insulation, we slept in here during the 4th of July fireworks, which were very loud. And this is anecdotal, but I know, well, part of it's anecdotal, another part of it's a fact. They did say that they have beefed up the insulation for this model year, the 2022. Anecdotally, we've definitely felt that. We both slept with, you know, explosions going off outside, and it really wasn't very loud in here. It felt like it did a pretty good job muffling that, in addition to the extra benefit of just being, you know, better insulation. Okay, gonna spin around a little bit now. So, you know, you've got I mean, this is pretty standard. This slides out, then flips over to make a counter top. Let me show you how that goes real quick. Pretty sure this was on the other ones, on the other model years, but in case you haven't seen those, this is how it works. It comes out, you gotta move the seat a little bit out of the way, and then it flips up and goes down, and now you have extra counter space. Now, there is a lagoon table. It actually goes into here, and then so you can have a desk here, or you can attach the desk to here. We actually found that we didn't need the desk because we've got so much other area where I can be working on my laptop, so we just removed the lagoon table for now to give it a more open vibe. This power bar that comes up, which is pretty cool, you've got two standard 3-prong outlets and then 2 USB ports in the kitchen as well. This is the Induction Cooktop. We cut a piece of cabinet liner to put over it to help kind of protect it a little bit from minor drops. But I think a pro tip would be don't put anything heavy up in this first cabinet, because if it falls, it could do some damage to this. So we're going to put lighter things up in this first cabinet. So you've got a spice rack up here, and here's the sink. We did put that liner at the bottom to help protect it. We don't want it to get all scratched up if we can avoid that. And then there's the faucet. The refrigerator, it's just like the one we had in our Revel. Very simple, very small, with a small freezer. So here is the instant hot water. That's nice. So usually if you turn on hot water, you know, you have to let it run before it gets hot, and then all that water that it was running is just wasted. This actually saves that water and puts it back into your tank. And then whenever you go to use the faucet, you just got hot water. So that's a nice perk. Here, I believe this is new. This is pretty nice. I mean, we've got a lot in there, and it goes really deep. So, nice extra cabinet. And I gotta say, I love these handles. I much prefer these over the push-button ones from the Revel. Just a simple design. You just pull out, push close, and it's nice and sealed. Here's the Convection Microwave. We did actually cook a pizza in this already, and it worked great. It was one of those smaller pizzas, but it cooked it and it tasted amazing. So pretty happy with that and looking forward to using it more in the future. Two more cabinets down here. And this is a security locker. It's locked, and I think Danielle has the key, so I can't open it to show you. Pretty basic stuff over here. Light switches, control for the awning, and that is your reset switch. Just like the Revel, it's got one of these guys. It comes down, you can zip it up, and then it's magnetized on the side, so you can come in and out without letting a bunch of bugs in. They moved all the control panel to up here, which we kind of prefer it all up here, to be honest with you. So this is the light to control, or this is the switch that controls the light above the cab here. I'll show you. So if there's off, and then there's a low setting. It's hard to tell in the video, but it's nicer for it at night, obviously. I'm gonna turn it back on for now. And then, you know, that's the power control system. You can adjust it. Like if you're only hooked up to house power through a standard 3-prong, you're gonna wanna bring that down so it's not pulling 30 amp. And then here is the water pump. Pretty simple, shows you all your tank levels and everything. That's what we got going on right now. We have not filled it up with water yet, so we haven't tested a lot of the water systems, but that will happen soon. And then over here is the Truma. I think most people are pretty familiar with how that works. The time on here, I haven't set it yet. I need to go through and do that. Not a big deal. And then over here is I think that's the inverter display. But what's amazing is you just come in and turn this on. You don't have to think about it. So I'm currently a little over 30% battery. We've used this for several days, and I'll talk about some of the results with using it. But it's absolutely incredible. It really changes everything with RVs, at least for us. And then there's the LP. I've currently got it on, but we're not using it because there's only two things in here that you need propane for. One of them is the water heater. The other is for the heating system. We aren't using either of those right now because it's hot, and we don't have any water to test out the shower yet. Also, you can use the electric element, but I've heard it's not very efficient and you run out of power pretty quickly. But I will say that we have the most upgraded battery that you can now get in the Travato. We paid more to get the highest level option for the max battery capacity, and I think that's going to really help us with things like that. Ultimately, we would prefer to get to a place where we don't have to use any propane at all. So we'll probably use this propane up, and then during the winter test it out with electric only, just using the lithium batteries. And if that's sufficient for us to take quick camper showers and to keep it at a relatively comfortable temperature in here, and we don't plan on going anywhere super crazy cold anyway, but if that's enough, we'll probably just run the propane down and then close the valve and kind of be done with propane. Usually you would use propane for the cooktop, but since ours is induction, obviously you don't need propane for that. It's just electric. This is the tank heater. So if you're somewhere cold, you need to keep your tanks warm, you just turn that on. Here's the TV with soundbar. I found it works pretty well. I believe it's only 720p, but for such a small TV and such a small space, it actually works fine. I hook my phone up to it via Dex, so I can stream unlimited amounts of things on Netflix or YouTube or whatever I want to use. Plus, I have a bunch of movies downloaded onto my phone and things like that. So I just connect my phone to it. All the connections are up here, actually. So there's my Dex dock. I just put my phone in there. And there is an HDMI here. Oh, the AC just kicked off, so that'll probably help the sound a little bit. But here is the HDMI, and you can put, you could hook a switch up to it or whatever you want, kind of a gaming console or a laptop and have a second monitor, whatever you want. Nice and simple. I'm glad that they don't bother putting in one of those super old school DVD or old school radio. Like, all that stuff is definitely in the past. It's 2021. It's time to move on. So everything's digital, everything's streaming. This soundbar is really great quality. We've watched a couple movies and a couple shows in here, and it sounded great for those. I also paired it with my phone, and I was listening to music, and it sounded really good. The two beds here, these beds are freaking comfortable. Love sleeping in here. In fact, we found that we both slept in quite a bit later than we normally would, simply because they were just so comfortable, and we just felt great in here. Even during West Texas heat, with the AC going, the Volta kept it going, and it was great. So speaking of the Volta, I just want to give a quick comment on this. So the first night that we got it, we drove it home and we were messing around in here doing some things. When we went to bed at about 11 p.m., the Volta was at 80% charge. We ran the AC all night on the auto low cool setting, and I had it set pretty low because we like it kind of cooler. So it was at 67, and it's West Texas. It's pretty hot here. Not as hot at night, but we ran it all night from 11 p.m. nonstop and we didn't get up until 9. So definitely slept in quite a bit more than we usually would. But we ran it all night on that setting, and when I woke up and looked at it, it was still above 40%. So it used less than 40% battery to run the AC all night in West Texas heat in July. So that to me is pretty good. And if it starts to get low, you can just turn on the auto start on the Ram chassis, and it will kick on that second alternator at a high idle and recharge it. So we tested that out a little bit earlier, and I let it run maybe 30 minutes, and I think it had recharged 20% or so of the battery, somewhere around there. So, if you ran it an hour, I think we might get back maybe 40 or 50%, somewhere around there. But I need to do more thorough testing on that, so don't quote me on those figures just yet. That's just a quick anecdotal first impression. I just realized I didn't show the overhead cab, so I'll just show that real quick. There's not much up there. This is all the manuals from Winnebago we placed up here, and then right here is actually a curtain. This curtain has two purposes. One, you'll notice right here there's Velcro. You can just take that curtain and you can actually attach it here to kind of close off this room. We tend to just use the shades because they don't take long to put up, and it works fine for us. But the second purpose for this curtain is actually in the back of the vehicle, and I'm not sure if I'll show that in this video, but basically you can open up both doors, put a bar across both of the doors, and I'm talking the back doors, not just the bathroom but beyond the bathroom. Open up the back doors of the van, and you can put a bar across, and then that curtain goes over, and now you've got this outdoor privacy area where you can shower or change or do whatever you want. So it kind of gives you this extra room off the back. If you don't want to shower in the back, you can just shower outside and be completely shielded. And here is the AC. Here's the Max Air fan. We haven't even used it at all. I haven't found any need to use it, honestly. We did get most of the options. So this is the acrylic awning style window, that you unlock here and there, then it opens up. Different clicks, different settings. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that back in. And then you've got the bug screen or the privacy shade, depending on what you want. And for the video, I'm just gonna put the privacy shade up. Those are nice because they're dual paned acrylic, so they're better insulated. I think that we're gonna enjoy that if we do go somewhere a little bit cooler. Cabinets all around, and these are pretty good size. I mean, you can put a lot in there. we were kind of racking our mind on how we're even going to fill these things up, because we're pretty small minimalists anyway. That's the solar connection there, and that is just indicating that it's taken on charge currently from the solar panels on the roof. These are awesome. We love these things. I keep the remotes in. 2 more light switches right here, one for the back lights, one for the front lights, so you don't have to get up to turn off the lights. That's nice. There's USB on both sides, and these lights here for nighttime. You can make them blue, or if you press and hold it, it goes to a brighter light, but the blue light's really nice at night for just kind of laying there looking at your phone or reading or whatever. Another one of these over here, light again, and then USB back there. As you can see, there's a ton of windows, a lot of sun if you wanted, or if you're somewhere real pretty. Lots of visibility there. Currently have this set up kind of like a couch mode, so you just can sit back here and watch TV very comfortable, very, very comfortably. We found that lounging in this thing is great. And there's also a lot of storage down here that we're very happy about. So let me show that. You just lift this up, and there's a ton of storage down here. So yeah, I believe that the batteries are underneath that, the lithium system. But this is a deep, it goes way down in there, and you can put so much. It's just amazing. And then here is, I believe that these doors are new for this year. They're okay. They're cool to me. I mean, they look nice, but whenever you mess with them, you can feel it. Like they're just kind of on this slide that's not perfect, and then they're just controlled by these magnets down here. It's not the most perfect system, and it's kind of hard. You have to push it real hard at the base to get it to open and close, but it's nice because whenever the magnets are together, there's a magnet strip here too. Whenever it's together, it does stay together very tightly. So I've got a bit of a mess in here because I'm still getting things set up. That nice bamboo piece, toilet paper holder. There's the toilet. It works real good. Here's a sink that we probably are not going to use because we can just wash our hands in the kitchen. I think I heard that that sink goes into the black tank, so if you want to save your black tank, you wouldn't use that anyway. Capacity, that is. People call it the bidet. This is upgraded for this year. This is a 9. I'm really looking forward to using the shower, and they also went ahead and put this track up here so you can bring the curtain all the way around. And then there's a medicine cabinet here. I think, yep. It's pretty decent. Here is, I guess this is a wardrobe / extra storage. Like you could take this out or move it around, and there's a bar here to hang things. So if you're going somewhere and have a suit or dress or whatever, you can do that. Close that. And then here is another cabinet, which we have a bunch of random things in, but that's pretty deep as well. So a lot of storage there. And then on the back side, and I'll show you that in a minute, there's even more storage. This is a towel bar, obviously. These are cool. They snap on to kind of shield you from, but if you want to see out the back and you don't want to snap that off, you just unzip this and you can look out, and this will actually just fall down. Okay, so that's the basic gist of what's going on. I'll turn off these lights. Try to close this. So I'll show you, it's kind of awkward to close. Well, I guess that wasn't a perfect example because it closed pretty well, actually. I'm just looking around, trying to think if there's something I missed that I wanted to show real quick in our first impressions. Overall opinion, we absolutely love this thing, and we can't wait to use it more in the future for some actual camping trips. This for us is a much better fit than the Rebel was. We like a comfortable living area inside, and that's what this is. Like, I'm so comfortable moving through here. I feel like I've got tons of room actually compared to the Rebel especially. And just for us both to be able to lounge back and watch TV, very comfortable sleeping, feels totally open. It's easy to get up and go to the bathroom without bothering each other. Or you can just kind of kick back here on the couch and chill and watch TV. That's huge for us. Oh, I forgot to show you that this can become one big bed. So this can pull out. This piece can pull out and connect over to here. And then you put those 3 cushions down there, and you actually get a much larger bed if you need it. We prefer it like this, actually, so that we have room to get up and go to the bathroom and do things like that without having to climb over each other, unlike in the Rebel. And I know I sound like I'm being negative about the Revel, but I really don't mean to be. I mean, it was a great vehicle. I think it's for a little bit different audience than us. We found that we just weren't doing as much off-roading as you would probably do, maybe the target audience would do. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but we are just kind of glamper type people, and we're millennials. We like technology, we like comfort. We do love nature and hiking, but we like to be comfortable. We like lithium, we like having nice AC, and we like to be totally comfortable if we're going to be out camping and doing any hiking or anything like that. So let me just show you the outside real quick. Oh, we did debadge this thing. So I know some people like that, some don't. We want a nice clean look. So we took all the badges off. And we prefer it like that. This bike rack is really cool. 100-pound weight capacity, so that's cool. Show you how this works in the back real quick. So there is this extra storage right here. Quite a bit of room back in there. We've got the jack and a shovel and things like that back in there. And then another cubby hole in there to store a lot more stuff. You can get a lot in there. Water system. This is a controversial change / upgrade. I personally love it. I could see why people wouldn't like it. The big annoying drawback is if you want water, like if you're at like a campsite, you would hook your water in, and then if you want it to just be city water that's hooked into your coach the whole time that you're parked, you have to leave this door open, which is annoying, and I can totally understand that. You do have this extra bug guard here, so just like the one on the side door, you can put that down and you'll be protected from bugs. But for us, we would just fill up the tank and then close everything up, and then we find that we can get by usually about a week without having to refill. And that may not be the same for everybody else, but for us, we find that we actually only use the fresh water tank for flushing the toilet and taking showers. We bring our own drinking water with us, and we use that water for cooking and for washing dishes as well. So this is how this all opens up. There's another storage here. We keep some chemicals and things like that down in there, so it's out of the way. Then here, we're gonna probably put some command hooks here to store some hoses and things. That seems to be a popular mod. But here you can take these together, put them together, and then they actually attach up there, and they go across to that side as well. And then you, like I said, you get this extra room here in the back to take an outdoor shower if you use the curtain from up front that I showed you. Close this up. And that's how it looks. Okay, I hope this video was useful for you, and we'll see you on the next one.